Marcus Witt Moore had everything a 28-year-old could want. A penthouse overlooking Manhattan, a trust fund that replenished faster than he could spend it, and the kind of surname that opened doors most people didn't even know existed. He also had a problem that money couldn't fix. He was completely, utterly lost. The drinking started innocently enough. A cocktail here, a bottle there. Then it became a daily ritual: bourbon at breakfast, wine with lunch, anything to dull the gnawing voice in his head that whispered he was worthless. His father had built an empire. What had Marcus built? Nothing. A string of failed business ventures funded by paternal patience running dry. A degree from an elite university that felt like a consolation prize. Relationships that crumbled the moment someone realized there was no actual person beneath the money. His father had finally given him an ultimatum. Clean yourself up, or the allowance stops. Marcus had laughed at that. The allowance, as if that mattered when he was drowning anyway. Then Maria arrived. She wasn't supposed to be there. His last housekeeper had quit without notice, leaving an empty apartment with full glasses collecting mold on every surface. The agency sent Maria on a Tuesday. She was in her 60s, with silver-streaked hair and the kind of sensible shoes that made soft clicking sounds on marble floors. She didn't introduce herself with false cheer or ask patronizing questions about his well-being. She simply began to clean. Marcus barely noticed her the first week. He was too deep in his usual fog, emerging from his bedroom only to find his dirty dishes gone, his sheets changed, his trash removed. On day 8, he discovered her sitting in his kitchen with a thermos of tea, eating a sandwich. "Your father was kind to my family once," she said, not looking up. "Years ago, before you were born. He helped my husband when no one else would." Marcus didn't respond. He was already turning to leave. "I'm not here for you," she added quietly. "I'm here because I have a debt to pay." That should have insulted him. Somehow it didn't. Maria never lectured. She didn't hide the alcohol or suggest he seek help or exchange meaningful glances of concern. But slowly, almost imperceptibly, things shifted. When she cooked, the smell would drift into his room, not aggressively, just there, a comfort. When he was in the kitchen at 2 a.m, shaking with the beginnings of withdrawal, she would simply appear, sit across from him, and teach him to make her mother's dumplings. Her hands moved with such certainty, such purpose, that he found himself copying them. "Why are you teaching me this?" he asked one night. "Because you need to know that you can create something," she said. "Not inherit it, not buy it. Make it." Weeks passed. The empty bottles accumulated less frequently. Marcus started leaving his apartment in daylight. He helped Maria with the garden on the building's roof, something he didn't know the penthouse even had. He failed spectacularly at growing tomatoes. Maria laughed, an actual laugh that creased her whole face. One morning, his father called. Marcus almost didn't answer. "Your supervisor says you've been volunteering at a community center," his father said carefully. Teaching cooking, Marcus had almost forgotten he'd started. It had begun as a suggestion from Maria, a small thing, teaching kids basic recipes. He'd nearly backed out a dozen times. "Yeah," Marcus said finally. "I did." There was a long silence on the other end. "Your mother always said you had a gift for making people comfortable," his father said. "I thought you'd inherited my drive for acquisition, but maybe you inherited her gift instead. Just in a different form." After they hung up, Marcus found Maria watering the plants. "I think," she said, before he could speak, "my debt is paid now. My son needs me. I'll be leaving at the end of the month." Marcus felt something crack open in his chest. Not the fragile breaking he'd known so well, but something else. Something that made space for gratitude. "Will you come back?" he asked. Maria smiled. "You don't need me to anymore," she said. "But I'll come for Sunday dinner. If you'll have me. I'll be cooking," he warned. "Then I'll definitely come," she said. 3 years later, Marcus's cooking class had expanded to 2 locations. His father sat in the front row at the ribbon cutting, watching his son teach a room full of kids from the neighborhood how to make something from nothing but effort and care. And on Sundays, Maria still came for dinner. In the end, it wasn't inheritance or ultimatums that saved Marcus Whitmore. It was witnessing someone show up consistently, without judgment, until he remembered who he could be. It was learning that the most valuable thing money couldn't buy was someone who believed in you long enough for you to believe in yourself, and it was dumplings. Always, somehow it came back to the dumplings.